Statements released last night. The WNBA, PA, the Players Union, they're crashing out. They're crashing out, and they look less and less professional by the moment. Fans are recognizing this. There are things that they cannot keep this from getting personal.
Last night's statements from the WNBA Players Association caused a huge backlash, and honestly, it did not look good for them at all. Instead of coming across as calm and professional, the union came off emotional, messy, and out of touch. Fans noticed it right away, and the reaction online was brutal. What should have been a strong moment for the players turned into a public relations disaster. The problem is not that players want better pay or improved conditions. Most people agree they deserve more. The real issue is how the union chose to communicate. Their statement felt more like a protest speech than a serious negotiation. Meanwhile, the league released a short, calm response that focused on growth, stability, and future plans. That contrast alone pushed public opinion toward the owners. Let's break down what happened. The previous collective bargaining agreement officially expired at midnight. Before that deadline, the league announced they would not lock the players out. That was a smart move. It made them look reasonable and willing to work things out. The players' union could have matched that energy and stayed professional, but instead, they went in a very different direction. They set up a giant inflatable protest rat outside the NBA store in New York. That kind of stunt might make sense in factory strikes or shipping yard disputes, but in a professional sports league, it looks silly and desperate. It made the situation feel like a circus instead of serious business. Then came the union's statement. It was long, emotional, and filled with activist language. They talked about pay equity, regressive systems, and being treated unfairly. They framed the disagreement as if it were a social justice battle instead of a business negotiation. That may appeal to a small group of supporters, but it turns off casual sports fans who just want to watch basketball. The league's reply was short, simple, and focused on facts. They acknowledged the league's growth, talked about improving player salaries, and emphasized building a strong future. They did not attack the players. They did not use dramatic language. They just stayed on message. Fans noticed the difference right away. Online, people who once supported the players started saying things like, "I'm on the owner's side now," and "the union sounds unbearable." That kind of shift almost never happens in sports labor fights. Usually fans side with players. But this time, the union made themselves look unreasonable. And here is why. The owners actually offered big changes. They proposed raising salaries across the board. Average pay would more than double. Top players would see massive increases. Rookie contracts would be higher. Travel and training conditions would improve. Compared to past years, this was a strong offer. But the union wanted something much bigger. They demanded a 50-50 split of all league revenue, similar to what NBA and NFL players get. On the surface, that sounds fair. But it ignores one major reality. The WNBA has never made a profit. For nearly 30 years, the league has lost money every season. The NBA and team owners have been paying the difference to keep it alive. So asking for half of all revenue in a league that already loses money is like asking for half of a paycheck that does not exist. It would only increase the owners' losses. That is why fans started pushing back. The league just signed new media deals that could bring in a lot more money starting in 2026. That could finally make the WNBA profitable. But that money has not arrived yet. Right now, owners are still spending more than they earn. If players waited 2 more years, they could negotiate based on real profits. They could point to actual numbers and say, "Look how much the league made. We deserve a bigger share." That would make sense. Instead, they are demanding future money before it even exists. That timing is a huge mistake. The union also made another big error by framing this as a moral issue instead of a financial one. When you use words like oppression and equity, you suggest that anyone who disagrees with you is acting unfairly or cruelly. That might work in politics, but it does not work in business talks. Most fans understand basic economics. They know you cannot split profits that are not there. So when the union made it sound like the league was refusing to pay women because of sexism, people pushed back hard. That reaction matters more than ever because the WNBA just gained millions of new fans thanks to Caitlin Clark and other rising stars. Those fans are not there for political messaging. They are there for exciting games. If there is no season, many of them will not wait around. That is what makes this situation so risky. If the 2025 season gets canceled, players lose their pay. Owners lose money too, but they are already used to that. What really gets lost is momentum. Once casual fans leave, it is very hard to bring them back. This is why many people believe the union should have taken the deal on the table, locked in the big salary increases, and come back later to push for revenue sharing once the league actually makes money. Instead, they went to war too early. They used protest tactics, activist language, and emotional appeals instead of smart strategy. And because of that, they are losing public support fast. Even players like Caitlin Clark seem to understand this. She has said that this moment is too important to risk, and that fans need games to stay engaged. Without basketball on the court, there is no league to grow. The owners are not perfect. But in this case, they offered real improvements and a path forward. The union could have built on that. Instead, they chose confrontation. Now everything is at risk. If no agreement is reached soon, the season could quietly disappear. And if that happens, the damage could last for years. The WNBA finally had momentum. Now it is being tested. Whether the league moves forward or falls back will depend on what happens next.